Well, hello, everybody, and welcome to this week's edition of Your Mortgage Process. I, of course, am your host, Greg Wareham. We are here for the last week of the Bold training at Keller Williams, and it's really just been a tremendous event. It's been a privilege for us and an honor for us to be here shooting this live over the course of the past, it's been 7 or 8 weeks. So we are introducing back a guest that we interviewed several weeks ago, Rosalia.
Hi,
How are
Greg.
you?
Good, thank you.
All right. Now, you gave us the pleasure of interview the first time around. Tell me where we're at. We're at the end of everything. What did you take out of it?
We're actually at the end hoping that I graduate, that I get the award today.
I think I might have seen a certificate.
Oh, thank God, I made it.
So what was the number one thing that you pulled out of this?
The pulled out is 1% better every single day. So I have to be 1% better than I was yesterday.
Oh, that's great. That's unique, too. Nobody said that to us thus far.
Yep.
And you think about the compounding effect of that, right?
Correct.
1% over 1%. Next thing you know, you're 25% better.
Yeah, we want to get to 100.
Oh, that's fantastic. Is there one specific activity that you're going to focus on coming out of this that you weren't doing
one
previously?
of the things that I have to say is doing this activity for 7 weeks straight now is that time blocking and lead generation. I'm at the point now where I miss it. If I miss it for one day, I feel like I am missing something. The whole day is going out of whack, right? So this is what this training did. Getting into that discipline, actually getting to love time blocking and actually doing the activity of lead generation.
Isn't it amazing once you put yourself into the disciplined routine of doing it, it becomes habitual. Yeah. And now you're feeding off of it.
Exactly. And if I don't do it, I feel like, oh my God, I don't have a day.
Oh, that's fantastic. Anything else you want to throw out?
Just keep doing what you need to do every single day, right? And that's the one thing I think that they are trying to accomplish with this training, right? Just getting us into that habit. It is a habit, and success is not easy, but it is very, very simple. And that's what I got out of this training.
That's wonderful, Rosalia. So everyone, we're getting 1% better every day, time block, just day after day, right?
Keep doing what you need to do.
All right. I pulled you away from lunch and you put your plate on the table. So I'm sorry, I'm going to get back to you. Thank you so much, Rosalia, for the time that you spent with us.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you for the opportunity.
Of course,
and
our pleasure. Our pleasure. Thanks, Rosalia.
Bye.
Jimmy, welcome back to Your Mortgage. I'm fantastic. How are you?
Not too bad, not too bad.
All right, we're finally at the end of our Bold training. What is the number one thing that you pulled out of everything?
Always be positive, man. There's so many things that could get to you. Don't let it get to you. Just be positive and keep it rolling.
That's fantastic. And that's different than what you said the first time around, right? And now you get towards the end of it, it's just be positive. It really is amazing. It's all about perspective.
Yes, definitely.
Right?
Big deal with that.
Now, were there any type of buzzwords or anything like that you would use moving forward to kind of keep you in a positive frame of mind?
My favorite saying that we've been saying all week is to be, do, achieve. It's all about be who you want to be.
Yep.
That way you can get to it and achieve it, but the hardest part is doing it.
Right.
That's where most people fail.
No question.
You know what you want to do. You know how to get there. You'll be happy once you're there. Just do it.
Be,
Nike said it.
do, achieve.
Yes, sir.
That's fantastic. Yeah. And I know your coach, Dennis, will probably keep you honest to that as well. Anything else tactically you want to throw out there, Jim?
Don't be afraid to ask. I said that the first time around, too, and it's still sticking with me. That's one of the big things, too. A lot of people talk, and they don't ask. If you don't, just hand out your numbers, nothing. Make sure you ask them, can I call you?
Right.
No, don't wait for them to call you. Ask them if you could call them later, or if you could stop by. What's the worst they could say? No.
Right. That's great. Don't be afraid to ask. Be, do, achieve.
Yes.
Now, I've called you Jimmy, Jim, and now I'm going to go with James.
There you go, man. Whatever works, as long as you call.
There you go.
Yes, sir.
Oh, man, thanks so much for spending the time with us.
No problem. It's my pleasure, man. It's always good having you.
Awesome, Jimmy.
Take care.
All right, well, welcome back, Eric. Thanks for rejoining us.
Thank you, Greg, for having me.
Now, the first thing that I'm going to say when everyone watches this video is if I was younger and better looking, I'd have a shirt just like that one. You look fantastic today.
Thanks.
All right, so we're so maybe taller too. I'll throw that one out there. Yeah. But anyway, I digress. Yeah. So we interviewed you several weeks ago, Eric, and now we're at the end of our Bold training. What did you pull out of it? What's the one thing you pulled out of it?
The one thing I pulled out of the Bold training was from, I would say the most important thing was from last week's session that we had.
Yeah.
Vasha has a process from the pre-listing to the closing, and I mean, what I've taken was every time I used to pick up a lead or a deal, I would have no sort of process. So I figured that once I got this from her, I'm going to start taking what she had and then being able to put that into my own system, into my own business, into my own life, really just to...
Probably best leverage it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's really great, Eric, because that's, again, different than what you had said the last time around. So it's kind of being able to take that lead and what the process flow through is like on it. Now, is that both, how you're talking to people in systems that you're putting everything into?
A majority of it, I would say, is definitely the back end.
Okay.
Because I think I have the ability to be able to influence people and speak to people. It's just
You do. You're pretty charming.
Yeah. It's just like the back end of it is what's really thrown me off in the past.
Okay.
And
hey, you work the system. They say, from a contact standpoint, you got to reach out to someone about 7 times throughout the process. So It sounds like you got a good grip as to what you're going to do moving forward.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
And we look forward to interviewing you again in the future, Eric.
Okay. When is that?
Whenever you want. I mean, we got to get this guy on the show, Nick.
All right, cool.
Eric, thanks so much for taking the time.
Thank you.
Welcome back to the show, David Caputo. Thank you so much for taking the time to join us. I know you're busy. You got a lot going on today with this being the last day. So what's changed at all, David? What's the one thing that you've really kind of pulled out of this now several weeks later?
Wow, many things, really. I got a lot going on. I got an SEO class I'm doing.
We're talking about that. It's amazing. How's that going?
It's good. It's like 3-hour sessions, 3 days a week.
Okay.
And then there's 45 minutes before where people can just log in, and so that I'm blocking time, and the time blocking was the biggest thing for me. So I'm time blocking everything I do now.
Well, I mean, when you look at something like your search engine optimization and your lead gen and all those things you have to do, I mean, for you, with everything you have going on, the time blocking is absolutely critical.
Yeah, you have to, and that's what helped a lot.
Now, how do you feel about it? So we all inherently know we need to time block, right?
Yeah.
We've been talking about that, whatever profession people have been in the past. Time blocking is always a thing. What makes it different this time around?
Maybe because they're talking about it so much. And
right.
I'm looking at people that do it. Just a few people in our office, and I'm picking their brain, and just got to do it. Just got to do it.
We were talking to Rosalia a little bit earlier about time blocking as well, and the one thing she had said is, well, she's not shying away from it now, right? It's not this dirty thing I have to do. It's something she's embracing. Do you feel the same way?
Yeah. It's a task that you just schedule your week out on a Sunday.
Yeah.
But it's getting easier. It's something you have to do. What is the rule? 60 days or
66
something?
days.
66
it becomes
days
a habit.
Right? Yeah.
So now, are you planning everything on a Sunday going into the following week?
Certain things I just have blocked.
Okay.
And after the SEO in January, I plan to keep that schedule for something. I'm going to try to pick up something else. But at least my 4:30, I'll do with my studying, reading, or whatever it is.
Yeah.
You got to find time for all that.
Yeah, that's great, David. Any other thing that you want to add at all?
I don't know, but it's enlightening, all the things that you have to, correct.
So it was worth the 8 weeks for you?
I think so, yeah, it definitely was. And the people you meet, and just today was pretty incredible. I like that, people walking around.
Right. And you have to talk to me, right?
Yeah. No, always a pleasure. You're always in the office. And
David, I really appreciate you taking the time. I know you're busy. Wish you the best luck. I can't wait to pick your brain about the search engine optimization when you have the class.
I'm finishing in January. It's really, really cool. Right now we're in the early things, but now we're going to be doing the website building, and then the keywords which they're talking about.
Yep.
And then how you insert all that.
Right.
So it's it's cool.
Can't wait to catch up with you on it, David. Thanks again for taking the time with us.
Thanks, Greg.
Thanks,
Appreciate
David.
it.
Bye. All right, so as everybody knows, we're at the end of Bold, and we have the facilitator of the entire thing who's been generous enough to spend a few minutes with us. Vasha, welcome to the show.
Well, thank you for having me.
You've been great. You know, I've sat through, as an outside vendor, as a mortgage person, I've sat through 10 different Bold sessions, and this one was really special. You just did a tremendous job.
Thank you. I do my best.
It's great. Now, you do multiple trainings, right? I think you're in New Jersey for 3 days a week. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, so right now, I just we'll be graduating the third bowl today.
Uh-huh.
So I'm leaving on Sundays. I fly into Newark. I drive from Newark to Pennsylvania, teach there.
Okay.
Then I drive up to Cherry Hill, teach there. Then I drive here, teach here. Then I'm back on a plane. And so then I'll be off for a week, and then I'll be on the road 6 days a week because I have 5 bowls coming up for the rest of the year.
Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, are you ever home?
The funny thing is my mom says that it was a squatter going to be living in my house because I'm never home, like literally. So this next round of bowls, so right now I'm home on Thursdays, Fridays, and Saturdays.
Yep.
The next round of bowls, I'll only be home on Saturdays because I'll be gone Sunday through Friday.
Wow.
And then home just enough to repack my luggage and back on the road.
And just go again.
Yeah.
You know what? That's the word noble pops into my head. I could probably come up with a better word, but you figure for all the knowledge that you have, you could be selling real estate at an incredibly high level, and you may have a team as well. Mm-hmm. Why do you do this?
So you hit the nail on the head. So I actually have a team in Houston, a mega team, and I have an expansion team in New Orleans, Louisiana.
Love New
So
Orleans.
me having the leverage allows me to do this. And this is something I'm super, super passionate about. I've been in real estate for 14 years. And prior to me getting in real estate, I was already investing in real estate.
Okay.
And so I knew that I had a season for a time frame of that I wanted to actually physically sell.
Uh-huh.
And then I wanted to go out and coach. And so for the past 5, almost 6 years, I've been doing what I do now, and I'm super passionate about it, and it fulfills 2 things. Number one, it allows me to go pour into other people and help them become the best version of themselves and expand their businesses. Mm-hmm. And then the second purpose is, one of my passions is traveling, so it allows me to actually fulfill my success list, which most people call a bucket list.
Yeah.
And that's going to all the 50 states, so I'm able to fast track that through bowl coaching.
You get to do all the traveling you want. You get to see the country at the same time doing something like helping people on a day-to-day basis. That's great.
And just building relationships with people all across the United States. So that's fun doing that.
So when I know different people are different, and you coach thousands and thousands of people over the course of a year, what do you hope that people get out of your training?
Well, the biggest thing is that I want them to know that anything they desire is possible.
Right.
Most people, when they were younger, they dreamed. They dreamed big.
We were
When
all
I
there.
get big, I'm going to do this, and I'm going to do that, and I'm going to go here, and I'm going to go there. And then as adults, we forget to dream because life happens.
Right.
And real estate allows people the unlimited potential for income to do whatever it is they desire. Mm-hmm. And so being able to let them know that you don't have to work till you're 65 years old or 70 years old to have your life by design. This is a vehicle for you to take advantage of to get fast track to where you desire to go at a much faster pace and do whatever it is you want to do a lot sooner.
Sure. Well, I mean, the great thing, it's so methodical, the whole approach is, right? To your point, life by design.
Yeah.
Right? You for yourself personally, you see exactly what it is that you want to accomplish, and then you put together the plan and just implement it.
Absolutely.
Where do you think people mostly struggle?
Mindset.
Yeah.
People always struggle with mindset. They give themselves limiting beliefs. They give themselves every reason why they can't be successful. And believe it or not, more people are afraid of success than they are failure, because they'll do everything they can to sabotage themselves from being successful.
Right.
So they'll say, I want to have this and I want to have that, and then we give you the systems, tools, and models to do it, and then they just don't do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, you know what, and it's so true. I mean, some people, we all get the same 168 hours a week, right, to do what it is we're doing. And why do we have some that are Jeff Bezos or, pick anyone super successful? Pick yourself as an example. The way that you've orchestrated things for a certain level of success. And if people can just get out of their own way,
Yeah.
good things
the
happen.
Thing is, it doesn't matter how many hours you have in a day. It's what you do with the hours that you do have.
That's a great point.
A lot of people think, I got to work 8 hours, 10 hours. No, you don't. You can be just as successful, if not more successful, in a shorter time frame, because what we do know is that the brain tends to operate at a faster pace when we have a shorter window of time.
Interesting.
So think about it. When we're on vacation coming up, you tend to find all the time in the world to go shopping, packing, and planning and everything.
It's such a great point.
And you get
Yeah.
everything done before you go on vacation.
Yeah.
You would not leave unless everything is done.
Yep.
Because you have a short window of time to get it done.
Yeah.
Sometimes people give themselves too much time, and then they're never successful.
Right. And that's a great point. That's a real nugget for anyone listening to this. You know, it's not about the time you're putting into it, it's the quality of the time that you're
That's
putting
right.
into it. And I think your analogy with a vacation is so spot on. You know, everything gets facilitated in that time frame because it has to. You have that level of urgency built right into it.
Right.
And because it's something that you want to do.
That's right.
And then taking that from a personal standpoint, personal life, professional life, to use that same level of intensity and urgency associated with it. Because life's short.
That's right, it is.
Oh, that's amazing. Give us one more tidbit.
Live life. You only get once.
Right.
You only get one life. Go live it to the fullest. Enjoy every moment. Stop and smell the roses while you're alive. Don't wait for somebody to put them on your casket. So do everything you want to do. It doesn't matter how absurd or how crazy some people might think it is. It's your life. You get to design it. So go live it. That's the best nugget I can give you.
That's great, Vasha. Thank you so much for taking the time. It's been wonderful listening to you over the course of the past 8 weeks. Thanks so much for spending the time with us, and thank you for everything that you do. You really make a difference for people.
Thank you. I appreciate you as well.
Thank you, Vasha.
All right, bye.
Thank you for tuning in to this week's edition of Your Mortgage Process, hosted by Greg Wareham, produced by Greg Wareham and Nick Pavis at The Social Rift, and executively produced by The Social Rift. Thank you again for tuning in, and we look forward to catching up with you next week.